Let's start off with this idea that some of what's going on for us is unconscious defense and some of it is adaptation. You want to talk about the difference between those?
We all do dysfunctional behavior. Let's just be honest. Like we're not all have it all together. And truthfully, in any culture or in any community, what is considered adaptive and non-adaptive is going to be different. And it should be different. And it should work in your system. So there are adaptive behaviors that someone can come in and say, oh, that's just defensive behavior, that's resistance, and call it names. I want to say that I think psychoanalysis in particular, at least historically, has been really bad at that. Like analysts learn what a resistance is and what a defense is, catch you doing it. And a lot of times there is a missing of context or a missing of a way of making sense of it and recognizing it as an adaptation, something that's helped you survive, something that's been a part of you.
And I
So,
think that's what
yeah.
modern analytic, I think they've really used some of the information they're getting to modify that at this point, to like really give more attention to that. Would you agree?
You mean seeing it more as an adaptation? Yeah, it's really just depends on what thread you get in. But
Mm.
I know certainly a lot of the therapists that are listening are on board with that for sure. But even though we protect people a lot by talking about like, this is an adaptation, this saved your life, it can be, again,
Mm.
it's still working for you. If it's
Right.
still working for you, then that's a healthy adaptation, no problem. But if it's getting in your way of growing, of your self compassion, of your connections and close relationships, then that's where we're going to want to come in and begin to help you not put it away necessarily, but grow your capacity to use other options, grow your flexibility about your tools so that you're not just hammer and nail, just doing the same thing and not even being aware of it.
That's a great point. And I think, is it working for me can be a tough answer. Some of us would say it's working for us because it's comfortable, it's familiar, and people are used to it. And so it's, oh, it's working for us. That's why we wanted you to ask other people. If one of your adaptations is to de emphasize your emotions and really attend to your rational thinking, that may feel really good. So it feels like it's working for you, right? Yeah, it works for me. I walk around feeling pretty good and feeling like I know what I'm talking about.
That's a good example of not even having the recognition, being aware.
Because it
Yeah.
feels so good. That would be an example of an implicit defense. We don't even recognize it as a defense. It's just who we are. And a lot of people will describe that as that's just who I am. But we don't really recognize that who we are is also an integration of our defenses that might not be serving us. So if you're, for example, the one that kind of needs to be right, you might not recognize that defense feels familiar and good to you, but is actually cutting off your ability to attend to your own vulnerability, your unknown states, and to connect to other people. If you're right, other people are wrong. So it's not enhancing your relationality. So that's an example maybe we could continue to use as we talk about these things.